Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen. We are back. We have a full slate here. I'm super, super excited. If you don't know who I am, my name is Shook. I make videos for NFL, NBA, bunch of niche sports, stuff like that. All of these videos, they get posted on this subreddit right here. It's called DF Sports. You definitely want to check this out because I'll show you 1 second. No content creators do this, but I make my posts here and I make updates with all of the news that we get throughout today, tomorrow, etc. Stuff like that. So check it out. You really want to see it. As you can see last week on the Showdown slate, we got news that the Jets will only be playing 3 running backs. That worked out huge. Izzy was an absolute smash. Worked out phenomenally. So I make updates when we do get news, what that changes for the slate, etc. Stuff like that. So definitely check that out. And if you ever need to get a hold of me privately, you can do so on Twitter. Shookgo here or Tori Langley 192. That's my handle. So definitely check those out. And then if you are interested in joining my Discord, a link to that will be down below, where I have in-depth content going over each slate, player pools for cash and tournaments, private videos going over cash and tournaments in depth. I give you a core of 4 players to play, cash plays, like I said, highlighted. Really great place to be. I'm in Discord 24/7 answering any questions you guys might have. So yeah, definitely check that out. That'll be down below. So pretty straightforward slate. We are waiting for some news on some teams, and I apologize if you can hear stuff in the background. My niece and nephew are over, so just apologize for that. And my dog is going crazy. But let's get into the slate. So Houston, I don't really have too much interest in anyone on this team. What I need to tell you guys, that's very, very important on these slates is you want to take guys that are going to get guaranteed playing time. You want to avoid zeros at all costs, especially in cash games. You want to avoid zeros, and you want to play guys that are going to be getting a lot of time, right? So, for example, I'd rather play a less talented player that's going to get a half over a talented player that's going to get like a quarter, right? Same thing with NBA. Minutes equal money, playing time equals money. So, same kind of thing here with the NFL preseason. Just give me guys that are going to get playing time over guys that are more talented and going to play less, right? So, with Houston, there isn't much that I want here, to be honest. DFS wise, they are clearly my least favorite team on this slate. Stroud's going to start. He's going to play 1 to 2 drives, I believe. I have no interest in Stroud at all. Mills will come in after Stroud. I still don't really have a ton of interest in Mills. He doesn't offer rushing upside as well. He's basically just a tournament dart for me, and then you're going to have Keenan coming in. I don't like Keenan at all. So really no interest in the Houston quarterbacks. As far as running back, once again, the starters are expected to play. I don't have interest in anyone with the starters playing. They're going to get like a couple drives. Outside of that, still no interest in basically anyone. If you were to target one of these guys, it would be probably someone at the end of the depth chart, but really no interest in the Houston running backs at all. And I really have no interest in the wide receivers as well. We have teams much more shorthanded at wide receiver and running back that it really just doesn't make too much sense for me to go to any of these guys. So Houston, honestly, for me, is going to basically be a complete cross-off. So I'm not going to bore you guys to death with this stuff. Just a basically complete cross-off for me. But this team is a team that we can get some plays from. So Patriots, the starters are not expected to play, and if they do, not much at all. But they're not going to play. Zappe is expected to start. Cunningham is basically a wide receiver, but he was getting some snaps at quarterback at the end of, I believe, yesterday's practice, but I don't know what that was about. Could have been for the defense to go see what they're going up against, etc. So I think Zappe plays about half. I mean, whenever you get a quarterback playing about a half, they're always going to be a good play. So I do like Zappe. I think he's solid. McSorley should play a decent chunk as well, and I think he's a fine option. He also does have rushing upside, so I do like both Zappe. I do like Zappe and McSorley, and then Cunningham. Not exactly sure how much he's going to be playing, so he's strictly just a dart. He's mainly a wide receiver. He was a quarterback, I believe, in college, and then transferred over to wide receiver. If he was wide receiver instead of quarterback, I would have some interest. But yeah, only being a quarterback definitely hurts. I don't really have too much interest in Cunningham at the quarterback position. So going over running back, Stevenson isn't going to play. New England has 3 running backs. So Pierre, I expect to play a ton. Strong, expect to play a ton. Harris, I expect to get a decent chunk as well. So I really, really like all 3 of these New England running backs: Strong, Harris, Taylor. Strong, Harris, Pierre Strong, Harris, and Taylor. I would rank them Strong, Harris, 1, 2. I think those 2 are the best, probably 2 of the better running back plays in the slate. Did I say Pierre and Strong when I was going over the running backs? Sometimes my mind just reads someone, and then I read it completely differently. So Strong and Harris are probably 2 of the better running back plays on the slate. And like I said, Taylor, I believe, is okay. Would much rather just play Strong and Harris. All right. Wide receiver. So starters aren't going to play. That being, Juju, Parker, Bourne, etc. So, Thornton. Where's Thornton? I kind of like Thornton quite a bit. And the reason being is he's playing a lot with Zappy. So if you are playing Zappy, I think Thornton makes for a really good pair with Zappy. He's been getting a lot of run with Zappy, so I do like Thornton quite a bit. Where is Boutte? Boutte, I think it looks like a pretty solid wide receiver option as well. Like I said, they're pretty thin here, wide receiver. Douglas, I think, is a solid wide receiver play as well. Nixon, where's Nixon? I also think is solid as well. These guys are basically getting all the run in practice for tomorrow. So I do like, if I were to take shots on these wide receivers, those would be the wide receivers I do like. And like I said, we want to take shots on these guys that are more short-handed, right? Tight end, there's just not much. I think Ferkser is probably going to get the most ownership, probably the most ownership out of any tight end play on this slate with the starters not playing. Probably my favorite tight end play on the slate, but tight end just disgusting. I'm not going to go over any tight ends. Probably Ferkser, just plug them in, whatever. And then I think that's it for New England. Let's go over the Vikings. So, don't think we have confirmed news on the Vikings yet, but I'd be pretty surprised if these starters do play. One sec. Assuming these starters don't play, like assuming Kirk Cousins doesn't play, etc. I don't know how much Mullins is going to play. He is a veteran, so I'd be pretty shocked if he gets more than like half. I would assume probably less, but who knows? We don't have confirmed news. He's fine if you want to go there, but I think the standout to me, and I think one of the better quarterback plays in the slate, assuming Kirk Cousins doesn't play, is going to be Hall. I think he gets a ton of run here, at least a half in my opinion. He has rushing upside as well. Definitely one of my more favorite quarterback plays on this slate. Going over running back, I don't think Madison plays. Nwagu's been injured. I don't think he plays. Assuming they don't play, they really kind of only have 3 running backs. So definitely some plays that we can get to here. Abraham Smith was signed. He is not in the player pool. McBride, I think, gets a ton of work. He's probably one of my more favorite running back plays in the slate. Chandler, I think, gets a ton of work. I think he's solid running back play as well. So I'm pretty high on these 2 running back plays. So yeah, and then like I said, Abraham Smith is not in the player pool, so you can't get to him. So I really like Chandler and I really like McBride. Going over to wide receiver. I don't think the starters played. Addison, not entirely sure how much he's going to play. We'll see. Got to keep an eye on news there. Not much. Like I said, I think I want to target more of these shorthanded teams, that being New England, that being Seattle. So I think, kind of like Houston, the wide receiver situation here is probably going to be a complete cross-off for me. So not looking to too much of the wide receivers here for the Vikings. All right, Seattle. So Smith isn't expected to play. Locke is expected to start. According to Beats, he's supposed to get a lot of runs, so I would think at least a half. So I like Locke quite a bit. I'm not going to touch Allers. So Locke definitely probably up there as one of the better quarterback plays in the slate, even though he's god awful. But yeah, like Locke, gonna get a ton of playing time according to Beats. So yeah, definitely one of the better quarterback plays on this slate. Let's go over to running back. All right, Walker, he's been out of practice, not going to play. Charbonnet has returned to practice. Expect him to play. Dallas has been limited with an ankle injury. We'll see there. McIntosh is out. I believe he's out for a while, actually. All right, so assuming all these guys are out, that being Walker, McIntosh, Charbonnet, I think probably gets the most work. He's kind of up there with those New England running backs to me. And Minnesota, like I think he's solid. I think I give the slight edge to the New England and Minnesota guys, but I expect him to get a lot of work. I think he's solid. I don't think Dallas gets a ton of run. I don't really have too much interest there. And then Kovac, I think, gets some run, but kind of just indifferent on there. It's just like fine. It's like a filler play. I think I ranked the Minnesota and New England guys above him. But Charbonnet, definitely my favorite running back play on the Seattle team. I think he's pretty good. It's all going to come down to ownership. The ownership for me for tournaments. Like, if the New England running backs, which I expect them to be massive chalk, are going to come in higher owned than Minnesota and Seattle, you could definitely take shots on those running backs. So for me, for tournaments, it's going to come down to ownership with these guys. I think for cash, you probably just get to the New England running backs. But yeah, definitely Charbonnet, I think, is a pretty solid play in my opinion. For wide receiver, don't expect Metcalf to play. I don't expect Locke to play. Young's been missing practice. Eskridge has been missing practice. Oh, he's out. He has an out tag. Is expected to play. Oh, wait, what? Is expected to play. Weird. Last I saw, he's been missing practice. So assuming all of these guys are out, the guys that I expect to get the most run are going to be Smith, might get some run, Bobo, and Johnson. So Bobo, assuming all these guys are out, got to keep an eye on news. I think it looks like a very good wide receiver play as well. And then Johnson, I think, would be another pretty good play. And then Smith, but we'll see on playing time for him. Tight end, there's nothing. Like I said, I think I'm just going to play Ferkser at tight end. What else? Trying to see if I missed anything. Defense. Let's look at quarterback again. So for defense, you really want to be playing guys that are going to go up against running quarterbacks and quarterbacks that are going to be throwing the ball a decent chunk. Running quarterbacks, that allows for more sacks. You get more ceiling there with sacks, and then when quarterbacks are dropping back more, you have more upside for sacks, interceptions, pick sixes, etc. So let's see if we can find a defense here. Looking at the quarterbacks. I mean, Minnesota kind of fits that role, or Seattle defense kind of fits that role, right? And then, where is Houston D might fit that role. I guess probably favorite defense is going to be Seattle. But it's really, really picking hairs, in my opinion. So that's going to be the video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, hopefully we'll get more info on starters in this Minnesota game tomorrow or later on today. I'll make updates on Reddit. And then hopefully we'll get news on the playing time for Smith and the news on the rest of these wide receivers for Seattle. And what other news are we waiting on? I think we have pretty much everything else. And yeah, I think that's going to be it, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Like I said, Discord link will be down below where I'll have more in-depth content once we get full news. So, yeah. Talk to you guys later.